Welcome, everybody. Welcome on back to Homesick Philly Bros. This is, as always, presented by AML Media. We're going to hop right on into it. But once again, Homesick Philly Bros. I'm Gene Labordi. That's my brother, Stephen Labordi, and Rachel making the magic happen. My wife, Rachel Labordi. Why don't you give us our plugs, sweetheart?
Okay, we are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All of our social media handles are on the screen, so take a screenshot if you're watching the video, or you can go to our website to find all of our direct links there. Our website is aml.news.blog.
Thank you very much. Well done, Rachel. I, unfortunately, the Eagles lost. Yeah, this is a tough one to the Cowboys. 40-34. I am trying for my own well-being to be more positive about things, so I'm not just going to be a little boo-berry the whole time.
How about them Cowboys? We all are happy for Jerry Jones.
Oh, God, yeah. Good for him. Just to kind of get them out of the way so we can get to our gut reactions, which is my favorite point. But let's get last week's predictions. I had 24-21 Eagles winning. Obviously wrong. I made a little weird, bold prediction that there was going to be no field goals except until the end for the game winner.
Yeah, we both sucked in our predictions. Although I was closer with the score. Because the final was 40-34, which we have to mention that in the beginning of the episode.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, 31-28 was a little closer than yours, so I'll take that, half a victory.
Yeah, and the thing that sucked about this one is we lost it ourselves. And then, so...
Who'd you have?
The Who'd You Have segment, which is past tense of who you got, right. If you guys have been watching it.
Yeah, they know.
I had Slay, and the kind of prediction I had on that was he was going to have an interception to fix the momentum, and I was pretty wrong about that.
Yeah, but I like your predictions because they are very bold, and that's the spirit of Who You Got.
Yeah, I try to make it fun, and then because that way, if you're wrong, it's like, I made a crazy prediction, but I've made some bold predictions that were right, and I was like, I'm just the best at this.
Right. Yeah, I had Miles Sanders with over 130 yards and 2 tubs, as they say now. I hate that. But anyway, I was way wrong.
Way wrong.
So what's your gut reaction?
So to get into the gut reactions,
fuck.
That's why I said I don't think, we lost the game ourselves. We had turnovers that just gave the Cowboys crazy good field positioning, turnovers that weren't forced, which we'll get into a little bit later. And I got to say, Gardner held his own. I think he did. I
think everybody's gut reaction to that game was, wow, yeah, he can play. I don't know if he's a starter for anybody.
And like the one guy said, I think he might be better than 32 other quarterbacks in the league or whatever. You
talk about the TV.
Yeah, I think he's within the top 32 best quarterbacks in the league right now.
He's close.
We've seen some terrible quarterbacking.
Yeah, we'll
this
talk
year.
about some of those guys.
So gut reaction. I wasn't as mad. I wasn't as mad as the loss as the way we lost it with the turnovers, and we kept getting chances. I really thought that last when we got the ball with 2 minutes left, I was like, we're going to do this.
So did most people, in the local media, Philly media. Most of them said we were pretty confident that they were going to come down and score a touchdown.
And especially with the Cowboys sucking in December. And we're sitting there Christmas Eve going, all right, dude, we're going to get the present. It came a little bit late. Just never happened. And it wasn't, when you say turnovers, there's a lot of people in play there. I think defense played, by getting put in those terrible positions, the defense kept giving us opportunities. So, Yeah, gut reaction was God damn it, but also thank God that they lost to the Jaguars the week before.
Yeah.
That made that loss a lot better.
Yeah.
So to anything sticking out more for gut reactions for you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just wanted you to spill your guts, so to speak. It always sucks to lose to the Cowboys as an Eagles fan, but that was probably the best rated NFL game of the season, and that's what pisses me off. Now Dak's the best player in the league, and the Cowboys are ahead of us in power rankings. You know how that goes. I think Colin Cowherd has a 6th in the NFL power rankings, which is fine.
Can you just come on, guys?
It's funny because, like, when you watch, like, national shit, I never realized till, like, the last couple of years, like, nationally, nobody watches the Eagles or wants them to do good just because Dallas, L.A. teams,
the Patriots. Just
sure.
because they've had that dynasty going on.
No, the 49ers are a big one just because of the history. Pittsburgh. Nationally, these guys root for those teams more just for ratings and shit. They don't have any souls. They don't root for anything, these fucking guys. But, yeah, so that was the worst part for me. I remember saying during the game, like, it wasn't terrible because I think we showed a lot of positive things. And we had a backup quarterback in.
We put 34 points up against the best, apparently, power-ranked team with a backup quarterback. And we had some players go down early on.
That was probably the worst part of the game. That was when Lane went down, and we didn't know what was going on. Because I knew he had an abdominal issues like 2 games ago. And when he went down like that, I was like, his season's done.
Yeah.
But might as well go right into injuries.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of smoothing us into the injuries.
Yeah,
there.
we usually have that at the top anyway. So Avonte Maddox was playing his ass off, flashing a ton, and then he goes down. So that injury pretty much, that's the story on Avonte Maddox's season.
Which stinks. He was out for a while, and we were just plugging holes. He came back, and I was like, dude, this guy has been chomping at the bit, and his preparation or whatever, his rehab was working. And to go down on what was looking like trying to be a trick play, that he did not fall for it, to get Dak down in the backfield, and then, like, a toe does it.
Not great.
That sucks, man. Which you'd think, like, can't we just put him in, like, a boot and let him play? He's better than our other option.
Well, after you saw what happened to Deion Sanders and his toe, now he has no toes.
Yeah.
Toes are important, but that's a bummer. And we saw what happened in the secondary when he wasn't in there.
What was the actual diagnosis? Just a broken big toe?
No, there's ligament issue in there, a fracture of some sort. I think it's like advanced turf toe or similar to turf toe.
Because I was gonna say, like, if it was just like a sprained toe, I was like, can't they like just do something? But if ligaments are in there, then the whole foot doesn't work.
And the thing is, and I have to say, the Eagles are an annoying team to deal with when it comes to injuries. They're so cheeky and like they don't want to give anything. And it's like everybody saw that he was in a walking boot after the game. He's not gonna be back. So just tell us exactly what happened. But you never get that out.
That way we don't just get a Tuesday of unloading shit on us. Like yeah, well, his toe hurts. It's not looking great. Not just Tuesday morning being like, well, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks.
Plus, like, even up to this point, they still haven't given all the specifics of what happened to his toe. So that's the one injury. I talked about Lane Johnson going down. Good news on that front.
Good news on that front.
Because he's going to muscle out this abdominal tear. I guess he can't do much damage playing with it. But he's going to have to get injections and just muscle it out. But he'll be back for the playoffs.
He's just, yeah. And you know what? I like to think that he's the type of dude where that's gonna make him a little even more pissed and even a little bit more violent.
He's not going to be at 100%.
No.
But his 80% is better than most guys.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing for me was when I heard that news, I was relieved because, A, he's great, but B, He's one of these guys that's talking about, like, he's not going to play that much longer. Yeah, he ain't trying to play till he's like Whitworth, like 39 years old. So this playoff run is big for him and for the Eagles. So he'll be back. Jordan Davis went down with a concussion. You remember him and Sweat collided. So he's in concussion protocol. But
what's the restraints on that? I know it's everything's different, but like, is there a has to miss 2 weeks on the concussion protocol now?
No, that's all up to the. They had testing you have to do.
Yeah, the baseline testings and stuff.
I mean, you can come back the next game as long as you pass all the tests and feel good.
Let's just hope his baseline wasn't that high to begin with.
Well, we got Limbaugh Joe's. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. They're like, this guy's not hitting many marks on the test.
Guys, it's not hard to beat the 30, but I'm just he might be smart. I don't know, but
so and then. No one else went down that I know of. You said something about Miles Sanders.
It's just, and I don't even know why I'm still paying attention to it, nor care. But just fantasy football has him as questionable. But everyone knows fans that
would be a
shit.
big deal and a big story if there was something legit there. So
it probably was just not full participation practice.
Yeah, right.
So it just like the computer that runs fantasy football immediately just puts him as a questionable.
Right. Right. And then Jalen Hurts is back at practice today. We both don't think he's going to play.
I know he does for I'm sure all sorts of reasons. I just don't want him. I don't want him to play.
You want him to risk anything?
Yeah, don't risk it, dude. We're in the playoffs. That's all that matters now.
Right. And if we can score 34 on Dallas, we should be able to beat the Saints one way or another. So yeah, the Devontae Max thing sucks, but that's the only red flag. That's
football for you.
We've been
Injuries
lucky.
are 100%. We have been relatively lucky. It's just a shame to see him come back flying and then a goddamn toe. That's one of those things I go, if this was the future and I could be like, you can just have I'll trade you toes. I'll heal yours up and I'll limp around. You can have, they're not great.
Yeah, I'll go on permanent disability.
Avonte Maddox disability. Let me live in your basement, dude.
For a Super Bowl. But and we saw what happened when he wasn't in there. So let's drop right into the offense.
Yeah, recap of the offense. Once again,
what stood out to you?
Gardner performed. I think that game can get him a job in the future as a starting quarterback. Granted, he's playing behind an awesome offensive line, 2 great wide receivers. It looks like we got our offense schemed out pretty well for him. Besides just the only thing I will say, he threw the 1 interception, but he could have thrown 2 more other interceptions. There was 2 throws that we got pretty lucky on.
He sailed a few balls too.
A lot of his passes were high, but I mean, that is the next. Like that's one of if he's been in that locker room long enough where he goes, every Dallas game is a playoff game. So like if you can perform like that against Dallas, that's a team going. He knows how much that's worth.
Apparently the best team in the league.
Yeah, to perform.
Let me give you a stat line here real quick, just to highlight your point here. He threw for 355 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw 2 picks. One of those at least was on Quez Watkins. One of those picks. He just got bullied for the ball. And the first one, when you look at the replay, it looked like pass interference. That dude was on his back. It was a good play made by the defender. But technically, that's pass interference.
Yeah, aren't you not allowed? You're not allowed to reach over from behind.
No.
Same in basketball. Like that's
and the only way you can do that is to get there early.
Yeah,
it's impossible to catch a ball over someone's back without getting there early.
And that, like every turnover,
but it wasn't a flagrant. I don't think either of us said in the moment like that was pass interference. On replay, it looked you could see it.
Once again, I gotta say, I like this style. The refs let them play on both sides. It was even. There wasn't the soft penalty calls. The few pass interference that did happen were pass interference. So I like when the gray area, I'll put it, is a little bit bigger for the refs. So pat on the back on the refs.
Let them play a little football. But my thing is, why is Quez Watkins running slant routes? He has one real role in this on this team, and that's to make space and go deep.
stretch the field.
They're always trying to put the ball in his hand. We talked about the gadget plays last week.
Yep.
He's fast, but he's not a natural anything. I mean, when you watch A.J. Brown's routes and you watch Quez Watkins, he doesn't know how to leverage his body. He doesn't know how to cut routes short and use, like, the defender's leverage.
And in a slant route, a lot of times it's going to be a contested ball, and Quez Watkins got skinny little baby arms, dude.
Yeah, he's not a big guy, especially when you see AJ out there just dominating. So, yeah, the wide receivers, Devontae had an amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
He was 8 catches for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. AJ had 6 catches for over 100. And Dallas Goedert, it was nice to see him back. He had 3 catches for 60 yards.
And one ball that he snagged out of the air that was impressive.
Going back to Quez Watkins, all of our receivers in that game had the high point balls and attacked them because we said Minshew was sailing some balls. He was a little skittish in the pocket. He was.
Going deeper into the game, I even commented I said I'm impressed that he overcame some fear or whatever because he was stepping up into the pocket. His pocket by the end of the game was pretty impressive. I was like, I think right away.
He hasn't played all year?
Yeah, every time there's some pressure, he's going to roll out. The one I was like, that's a first down for Jalen, and he just worked his ass off to get 1.5 yards.
Yeah. No, he looked like Russell Wilson out there, trying to escape a rush that he's not fast enough to get away
like,
from.
yeah, his legs. He forgot his legs don't move as fast as he wants them to on that one run.
And it's this read option kind of based offense. Nobody thinks he's going to scramble.
Yeah.
Or pull the ball, which is even more impressive that we had over 400 yards of offense for the game.
There was
and it looked like we couldn't run, but there was some production there. Going into the game, we thought that was the weakest part of Dallas's defense is stopping the run, and especially with your backup quarterback, and you think you're going to lean on the run. But I mean, the numbers say Minshew had a good game.
There was just a few times, which, I mean, he got chased down from behind pretty easy. But there were some times where, in the option, nobody ever thought that Minshew was going to get the ball, where I was like, there's got to be one time that they're going to let him pull it and get the 5-yard first down. They just never did.
I think Dallas would have loved that. They knew, like, let him pull the ball. Even if we play it wrong, where's he gonna go?
Yeah, there was just a few goal line stuff, but he
did have a rushing touchdown. Remember, we had a sneak for a touchdown.
Yeah, got another sneak, and I don't know how much he can squat, but I bet it's not 600 pounds.
yeah, dude, that's still going on.
It's not going to stop as long as we keep getting that 4th and 1 quarterback sneak. That's going to be the one stat that people think they're like, oh, dude, I know how much he can squat. That's why he gets it.
It's the same guys, though.
I know.
That's a pet peeve of mine.
Not every sports announcer is deserving of his job.
No, definitely not, especially ex-players. But not everybody watches every little bit of sports media that they can. So I really hear it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing on the offense, we gave up no sacks, which is really impressive against this vaunted Dallas pass rush.
Especially
that last drive, though. They definitely were giving up pressures. We had Driscoll in there.
You seen them after the second half they started sending the blitz more.
Mm-hmm.
And all we could do is Gardner's had to throw the ball out of bounds, which, good, don't force it.
But 3 times in a row, that was painful in that last
Yes,
drive.
it was. And then they figured out, like, that's all we have to do. And we had the opportunity. It just, we fell just a little bit short there.
But it was overall, just to finish off on the offense, overall, that's an impressive performance. Now, all the headlines and all the talk is going to be about Dak and Dallas winning. But from an Eagles fan perspective, like, could you have expected a better game from Minshew?
No.
And that's where we get into the turnovers. That was the story of the game, really. We've lost twice, and both times we turned the ball over 4 times.
If we turned that ball over only 2 times, we definitely win that game. Because we didn't make them have to work up the field. They would get the ball on their own. They got the ball on their own 30, like 3 times, basically.
Yeah. And both fumbles were just weird. I mean, the Miles Sanders one, which was just, he made a great cut to avoid penetration, and then the ball just popped out. There
fell
was
out.
zero contact. At first glance, you're like, someone must have got a hand in there.
It had, by the angle. And
Nope.
And right after the game, he manned up and he said, "That's no one else's fault but mine."
He took it hard.
Immediately owned up, which I like to see that. I'm so passionate about it.
He
should.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you want him to own it and feel like shit. They know how big of a stage this game was on. And he's trying to get a contract somewhere, if not here. And that's a bad look.
That wouldn't
Unforced
hurt.
fumble. That's 2 weeks in a row he's fumbled now. You just hope it's not in his head.
We're
We
not even
need
going to
him.
mention any words.
I shouldn't even say it.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's going to be fine.
Yeah. And then the Boston Scott one, my problem is, why is Boston Scott even in there? Gardner Minshew just kind of didn't adjust for how short Boston Scott is, and the handoff was nowhere near his basket, if you will. And but that was a killer, man. Just the absolute killer. All the momentum went out of the sails, and that was the game.
Yeah. And because you think Gardner Minshew probably has worked that mesh point with him, because they're, when the 2s and 3s are working at practice, you'd think that they're, so who knows?
So we can actually probably, never mind. I was going to say we can actually put that one on Minshew, but I think just overall that was just.
I think he did because
Dallas was destined to win that fucking game. Okay.
NFL's all set up. It's basically like the WWE.
You ever watch some of these like homemade documentaries or like insider podcasts where like there's guys
who think that it's set up?
100%.
You know what I found out? A lot of those guys have lost a lot of money betting.
Of course.
So their mind's like, I gotta. That's the mind protecting itself, being like, I can't suck this bad at betting. The NFL just doesn't want me to win money.
Yeah, for real. And it is hard to believe the NFL could have this much parity, especially guys that have been around a long time to watch football when there was dynasty teams, like, legit. But you get a bad beat, that's on you, bro. Don't gamble.
Don't gamble, guys. It's
not your
unless
fucking
you
life savings.
unless you're awesome.
Get
and
a
have,
scratch ticket.
Yeah, get some scratchers.
So the defense. First play of Dallas's first drive, pick 6, Josh Sweat, unbelievable play. And it's a shame because it gets overshadowed because we lost.
I was gonna say, how much in that sports media, if Dak's the best quarterback now, powering one, did they not say he just literally flobbled a ball? That's an easy.
It was a great catch, but what was he doing?
Yeah, and that he has a wide open guy on the other side and just literally like
throws it. Yeah,
that's a pass I actually could make because it's just a floater. The ones where you have to throw it real hard into a tight window, but that's all he had to do. But I mean,
we should, dude. When you start off with a field goal and then a pick 6 and you're up 10-0, it's just a really hard pill to swallow that we ended up losing that game. But that was a great play. This was another game. It's the 4th game in a row we've had more than 6 or more sacks.
I know they scored 40 points, but I don't put
20 of those statistically. 20 of their points were off turnovers. So every time we turned the ball over, they scored.
And once again, great field position. It's not like we turn, we're turning this ball over on our own. It's, dude, all they have to do is they're like in the red zone. They run the ball twice, they're in the red zone, and then our defense is tired at the end of that game, and it's...
What was the biggest thing that jumped out to you after the pick 6 when Dallas started getting it going? What was the number one thing that you saw from our defense that either was our Achilles heel? What was pissing you off the most?
We couldn't stop CeeDee Lamb.
Right.
So much production came through him, and I don't know how to make that defense adjustment. And
not without Avonte Maddox.
When Maddox went down, their offensive coordinator said, dude, that offensive coordinator started drooling when he seen Maddox go down, because he goes, all right, they don't have anybody that can do that nickel. And they just put CeeDee and
their plays were designed to get Josiah Scott lined up on CeeDee Lamb.
Their one touchdown, as soon as CeeDee Lamb went in the motion, I said touchdown CeeDee Lamb. As soon as he went in the motion, I go,
yep.
He's literally, there's not even anyone trailing him close enough. I was like, Easy ass touchdown. So that was that, and then obviously the fucking 3rd and 30.
That was a hurt piece. The fucking T.Y. Hilton, his first play, first game all season, and it was a great catch.
It was,
but it should have been broken up. And there's all kinds of opinions on the play. To me, Slay should not have been coming up to cut off a route in the flat.
When there's 30 yards to go.
They need 30 yards.
Let them get that yard. That's exactly what... I don't think there should be another storyline because, yes...
Josiah Scott got there late.
Way late.
And he knows, too, they need 30 yards. What are you... It looked like... I watched the play several times. It looked like the play that was called... Josiah Scott was supposed to, like, show like he was not a deep safety. It was a basic Tampa 2 play. But him and Slay both played it like it wasn't a 30-yard first down. So it's on both of them, but Slay should know better. Slay's a dude.
Dude, that's enough yardage where if this is Madden, you can go and prevent 3 and you can stop it. I like, there should have been nobody on the fucking line. Let everyone have 5 steps back on the D-backs.
To me, that play was a bad sign when that happened. You're like, this is a dagger.
And we almost had Dak down, too. We had pressure
we sacked him 2 plays in a row. That's why it was a 30-yard first down to begin with.
And we had, another pressure, just enough time. I mean, I guess it's not great pressure if a wide receiver can get 50 yards down the line.
And Dak, I'm giving him a lot of credit for the game. He did play well. But that play, he just saw that there was a little space there, and he knew...
that was a get lucky throw. I bet he's in his mind, and even in the play call mind, it goes, we're going for a pass interference call here. They don't think they're really going to be able to complete just a random 30-yard, let alone 50-yard pass, just off skill itself.
And there's someone out there who could tell you, percentage-wise, what the percentage of converting that. It was probably like 1%. But really annoying, man. But overall, like, Dak, to his credit, he played well.
I mean,
he got out of the pocket, made some good throws.
High percent. It was either like bust or, I mean, because at one point he was like 15 for 18 or something like that. Like,
yeah. I think I saw it was he was like 14 for 14 when we were in zone coverage. Not a great showing, and Avonte Maddox isn't coming back, so they got to figure something out. And C.J. Gardner-Johnson still isn't getting back. We won't see him.
He's got to be back for playoffs, right?
He'll be back for the playoffs, but I'd like to see him get in. I don't know.
Yeah.
They just don't want to risk it, I guess.
I also, you know who has been tweeting out, going, hey, NFL, I'm healthy.
Cravon.
Yeah.
Which we don't want to see. He hasn't played in over a year.
Yeah.
But who was the defensive coordinator before Gannon? I'm drawing a blank. That was his guy.
Yeah.
One of those guys that they signed, and he did play well for a little while.
He did play very well for a stretch for us there.
Yeah. But
yeah.
What else do you say about the defense? Shit.
I think like they did their job, except for one busted play. Oh, you know what else happened again? We fucking forced a strip sack.
I have it right
that
here.
We didn't pick up.
Can we recover some fucking fumbles?
Hey, in practice, can we do 1 rep of that? Because why can't we? And fucking
just one
what's his
of
name?
those
Big
fumbles.
Dog had it. I don't know if it was
Linval.
Was it Linval who had?
Yeah.
Dude, Big Dog had his hands on it and got it taken away from him.
Which should never happen.
Yeah.
He's gigantic. And our offensive line didn't recover the Boston Scott fumble. Or the Miles, one of the two.
I mean,
so both lines, they need to drill this shit. Just get on the ball.
Offensive line,
so bad.
You know what? Offensive line, don't get it in your head that we need to practice that. Okay, that one I'll give. But defensive line, if we have all these high flying pass rushers, maybe we do a little bit more fumble recovery. But
we recover one of those, we probably win the game.
Yeah.
But T.J. Edwards got God, they definitely were throwing on him. Dalton's their tight end Schultz had some. Again, it was all over the middle.
White had a really bad missed tackle.
Did he?
Yeah, and he hasn't been getting the time out there because Edwards has been playing great. I don't know why or what he was in there, but if you're supposed to be wanting these, you're not getting a lot of film put out there. So he had a really bad against the tight end, dude. When
Dalton Schultz, yeah.
When Schultz got like a 15-yard thing, Kaiser White was the one who just bad pursuit, didn't break down, and just flopped backwards trying to make the tackle.
Yeah, overall this season he's been slightly above average, but this is such a big. It just those little things. And the only other thing I'll just say on the defense is, Slay or Bradbury haven't had a pick in 7 games. So, and I told you, I don't know, did I say it on here the stat that in the last 7 games, Slay has been the second worst cornerback in the league with passing rating against him. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm not going to pretend to break down film like that to be watching his play specifically, but
another thing I can say is the way that we have won a lot of games. I'll give them a little, just a little bit of clearance because we're making teams, we're beating them early in the game, so they have to abandon the run and just pass the ball. Yeah. So in the NFL, every team, if they throw the ball 40 times, they should be getting some completions.
Yeah. But this was the first game where we got picked apart for a lot of the game. So, yeah. But we are only a second team in NFL history to have 6+ sacks in 4 straight games, and let's try to do it again.
If we can do...
That will be an NFL record.
Yeah, if we get 12 more sacks in the regular season, we will have beaten or tied the most sacks any team has ever had.
Yeah, but with the 17...
I was going to say, there should be an asterisk there.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Because it was like the Bears' badass, whatever that time was.
85 Bears?
Yeah.
But I'll take it. I mean, we haven't had sacks like this since fucking Jerome Brown and Reggie White were on the team.
I think that's going into it too. I'm not making excuses because we don't do that as Eagles fans. But when you're getting that many sacks, you're putting them second and longs, third and longs. They have to pass the ball, so it's just forcing them to.
But that's what you want.
That's what you want.
You got to get off the fucking field. I'm a little concerned about the secondary.
True.
Not panicking. But we need C.J. Gardner-Johnson to come back. Special teams. Nothing. We didn't punt once. How do you lose a game where you don't punt? Oh, you turn the ball over. So, that's, like you said, field position. And Jake Elliott hit 2 field goals.
Yeah.
Nothing else to talk about. It was 1 punt in the whole game.
It was a very exciting game. And I kept in the thing right. We get up 10-0, and I'm like...
Twice in that game we were up 10 points.
I'm like, all right, dude. We did this. We're good. I can start breathing. And then, seriously, God goes, wait, you can't be happy on game day, Gene. What are you doing? Being an idiot, dude.
It would have been awesome just to sweep the Cowboys with Dak in there and our backup. We would be like,
well, you know
this
what?
episode would be more high energy. We'd be excited.
And you know what? When we beat them, Dak wasn't playing.
No, I know.
So everyone's going to go, you guys aren't as good. And it's just one guy at bowling that I fucking got it. You
get to see him tomorrow.
I have to deal with this fucking moron. And
this guy's special. I've met him.
He's a Bulls fan, lives in Pittsburgh his whole life, but he's a Cowboys fan. Wears fake Jordans, I think.
Tune into the UBI podcast when we could do a whole episode on this guy's dentures.
Yes.
But
let's get into
one question.
Go ahead. Sorry.
One quick question. I saw this mentioned and I thought it was a really interesting question. Is there the possibility that with Amonte Maddox going out and knowing that we didn't really need to win this game, is there a possibility that Jonathan Gadden didn't want to show too much because we might have to play them again? So he was staying pretty basic in the secondary.
Can I say I hope so?
Well, that's what
I mean, I always think about that because, like, I mean, we both only played high school football, but even back then, you do some tricks and shit. You know what I mean? Like, football is one of those things where, like, I mean, look at the Patriots, dude. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying, kind of. And so I always think these guys are at such a high level, such high football IQ. They get paid so much money to just live this life and be like, have wives are like, you don't have to see me for 6 months. Go win games and keep bringing in money.
Everybody wins there.
Yeah, so yes, I think that is a strong possibility. Why not? You know what I mean? Like, as soon as the Jags
The only thing that gives me pause about wanting to say that I was thinking is these guys do have a lot of pride.
Listen, if this is the 49ers, let's say, I think it's a lot more possible that that's the case. But it's Cowboys week. This game was Christmas Eve,
right?
4:00 game. This game has been circled as soon as the schedule got released.
For the NFL as a whole, not just the Eagles and Cowboys.
And can I just also bring up again, the fucking gigantic screen is so
obnoxious.
It's so dumb, dude. I hate that that's their point of pride. And then also, actually, in one point in the game, I forget what it was, but I don't know what they show up there as opposed to what they showed on the TV. It was a catch that I think the Cowboys had. You could see Sirianni having the flag looking up there, and the fucking Cowboys are trying to go to hurry up. So, like, you know, the play can't get reviewed. And he's looking, like, Sirianni's looking up going, like, where's the play at?
Yeah, man, that's your home field advantage.
That's some lame shit, dude.
I know.
Now, they have people up in booths and stuff and all sorts of things, but Sirianni is going like, hey, we have the best technology in the world. Look how big this TV is, where they just were showing cheerleaders on that thing and not the previous play.
Yeah.
That's lame sauce.
You know what else is lame about that big screen? Like, it's a known thing that, like, you have to
punt different.
Yeah, because if you hit that screen, I think it's just like...
Dude, if I was a punter, I'd be like, I'm trying to break that motherfucker.
You ain't breaking that motherfucker with a football. But let's go ahead and move on here to your bum and your beast.
The Bum and Beast segment brought to you by...
AML Media.
AML Media. I was going to make up a sponsor, but I got into trouble for that before, so I won't do that again. I'll start. I'll give my beast first. We've talked about him already, but I think Gardner Minshew did. That was a great showing for a backup quarterback.
Absolutely.
I root for the guy like that. That, like I said, I was like, if we could just be our backup forever, I would not be upset with that at all. But let's. He's got another game. Let's.
We think.
Yeah, we think.
Would you put money on it?
Yeah.
If I was a bookie and I was like, you know.
Whatever, depending on the odds, obviously. But you know what? I'm rooting for this guy for 2 reasons. One, I like him. He's funny, and I like the type of personality in the NFL.
I wanted them to win so bad so he could celebrate. You know how hyped he gets when they win, dude, when he plays.
2, have a good showing and be able to trade him for a little bit of cash.
Cashish?
Yeah. You know, make your market price a little bit higher by playing sucks against, you know, I think he'll beat the Saints.
He showed out. And he's a good beast.
And his fucking dad is the man.
Yeah.
Dude, his dad he's raging up in those stands. His dad loves that he's in the NFL more than Gardner is in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying. When he wins, dude, he like it's like a little kid how excited he gets, and I love it. Who's your bum?
My bum, I had to go with Miles. There was a lot of opportunities this week to pick a bum, unfortunately. But Miles is my dude. I really like him.
Penn State kid.
And that is just a fumble that should not happen. I'm glad he bounced back immediately and said, that's all on me. No one touched the ball. But with the game on the line, that fumble,
he's your number one guy.
Yeah, and he's good. I mean, he has had some balling ass games. He doesn't bitch when he doesn't get the ball. No. He really just wants to win, and it looked like a ghost. Like if now I believe in Ghost, maybe.
It was definitely a momentum,
especially when they show it in slow motion, just because of the way the ball oscillates when it's touched weird. Like when it's punched out, that fucking thing just comes out. This thing was just like float, kind of a knuckleball, and then we couldn't pick it up.
Yeah.
Who was your beast?
My beast Who did I have? Oh, I had Sweaty. Another sack, a couple TFLs, and that pick six. That's a freakish play to make. And this guy has no tendons in his fucking knee. Like, they didn't know he was going to be able to play pro football because of how jacked up his knees are. And you could tell when he runs, like, he doesn't run.
It does have like a get up to it. He's got a little hitch in his get up.
And you would think somebody who's such a freakish athlete couldn't perform like that on a fucking gimpy leg, but he's been great all season.
He got up in the air for that ball, and it
was so effortless. There was no tip or like
that was mine. That was how do you not just go, oh look, I got all open field and there's the quarterback. He fucking sat back and goes, you're gonna try and pass this ball over top of me.
And it was awesome watching him just totally beast Dak. Dak had no shot.
Yeah.
Dak had no shot. And that was such a momentum play right in the beginning of the game. There was when you saw that play, there was definitely a chance where you were like, "Oh, dude, we're gonna smoke them."
That's what I thought for a second. Yeah. I should know better by now.
And just T.J. Edwards had 14 tackles, so that's a side beast. It's a pretty nice number. And then my bum, this was tough because, like you said, there was a lot of guys to pick from, but Josiah Scott got just. He got as soon as he got on the field, like you said, Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, targeted him, went after him. It just showed. As soon as Josiah Scott was in the game, they started to really pick us apart. And it's not like he hasn't played all season. Vontae Maddox has been injured. This would have been the first game he was back after a 4-game or 5 games possibly.
Yeah, and it's going back to what we've talked about, that one play. It's up for debate of 30 yards. Slay shouldn't have been up as much, but not just you take that play out of it, and Scott still. It just was. It was.
He's the clear weak link.
Yeah,
and they were like you said, drooling when he went in the game.
Yeah, which stinks because you go, well, he's basically a third, maybe fourth string, but hey,
he's got to start.
You're out
now
there
for now.
Mm-hmm. But so let's get that. We're gonna crack a new one because that week's over. Let's get into next week. We're thinking ahead. We're staying positive. We're not gonna get too down the dumps. Check out this awesome new gnome I got for Christmas. One of a kind.
The gnome and the book.
Oh yeah, Ray Diddy. This one's sick. He got me 2 Ray Diddy books for Christmas, and oh no, anyway, we're gonna sit him down because I don't want Ray to get hurt.
Eagles Encyclopedia, Ray Dinger. It was my gift to my brother, so I wanted to showcase it.
Legit ass book. The thing weighs like 3 pounds, and dude, he did not. There's a lot of information in there.
Yeah,
I like tabletop books. I want to just be able to pick up and just be able to read a page and be like, now I know something. And
I knew that.
That's perfect. Yeah. That's perfect.
So,
but let's get into Saints Week. All right, this is going to be another 1 o'clock game. Finally, we're home after
we've had 3 road games in a row.
So we're home. So get some if you can afford them, get some Eagles tickets. Good luck with that. But so
the game still matters.
The game matters.
Sucks because there was. It just sucks. I really want us to lock down that 1 seed and rest our players and just have that.
Well, we still can. When we won
I know, but
when we won the Super Bowl, we didn't rest our players until the last week of the season.
Okay.
The game that we went to, that I spent all my money on, and we didn't even get to see our starters. It was so cold.
It was the cold was. There was some dude who it looked like pissed his pants at that game. Remember that?
He definitely pissed his pants.
It was
so cold that I was like, yo, he's going to have like a problem in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we were if anybody's been to the link, like we had to go across the street and hide out in a Walgreens or something to warm up.
Oh.
It was crazy. Anybody who was at that game.
Yeah, like New Year's Day.
Was it New Year's Day?
New Year's Eve. Yeah, New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's hope, and that's the year we won the Super Bowl. So let's get that good omen.
I'm not down in dumps. I really
I don't want us to sit for 3 straight weeks.
Okay, no, I get you.
So I want us to go clean up business at Saints, and then then we can rest our players.
Yeah. So I'll just talk about the Saints real quick because the Saints are not. The only reason they're relevant is because the NFC South sucks terribly.
Weird season for that down there.
Yeah. Although the Panthers are coming on. But anyway, the Saints have a good defense. Andy Dalton is a game manager.
Andy Dalton has been the same thing since he's gotten to the league, I feel
You should like him, though, because he's a ginger.
I'm not a ginger.
Okay.
It's pretty clear, right? Your beard's ginger. Shut up, everybody. No, I don't. That's one of the guys I don't hate because he's just never been relevant.
He's just
against us.
Yeah, he's like Jimmy Garoppolo, but not as good.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say about this team. They got Alvin Kamara, who's a wild card. He's a good player. They got that kid Chris Olave, the receiver, is making some plays. He was in the running there for Rookie of the Year, but he's kind of fallen off. But he's a good player. And then name me another player on their offense.
We say this every week. It's the NFL, so nothing to give me.
Definitely, but at this point, like we need to win this game.
We want this, and the importance is we'll get the number 1 seat if we win this game.
Right.
And so that means we will get a bye in the playoffs. For all of you non-football knowers out there,
and we don't want to have to win against the Giants because it's a division game, and it's kind of like if we would have won this Cowboys game, we would have been flying high. Like, we're the best team in the league. There's no doubt.
We're moving on.
We're
not talking about the Cow.
But I'm just saying, we need to win this game.
We need to win this game. I think we will. Gardner's got another game under his belt. See, Scott hopefully doesn't get picked apart. That's really my concern.
Yeah, they don't have enough playmaking ability.
Yeah.
So give me your prediction.
I think it's not going to be crazy high flying, but you know what? Every time I kind of say that, it's wrong. The Eagles score a bunch of points, so I'm hoping that is. I'm saying 24-17 Birds. I just think it's going to be – we're going to get up. I see the way going. We're going to get up and then let the running game just chew the game out. You know,
it would be nice to see that.
Maybe get some rotation in the offensive line second half just in case. Get some experience.
Yeah, get some guys off the field.
That.
So you think the 17 points they do score are going to be like they're trying to come back and we don't have all our starters in?
I think a touchdown can come out of that. I mean, it's hard. I was going to say 10, but it's still the NFL. They have to be able to score some points.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not into betting and stuff, so I never follow lines or anything like that.
It's more fun and more guttural and organic when we just based on what we've seen.
And once again,
because the spread, I guarantee you, if we saw the spread, I would ask Rachel to pull up the spread, but I don't know if she knows how.
Don't worry about it. You can look up the spread yourself.
It'd be interesting. If we saw the spread before we made our predictions, I guarantee our predictions would be different.
It would change, of course.
But this is a home game, so there's no way we're not the favorites by at least 5 points.
And then also weather's going to be, I don't know what the weather is going to be like, but had some sloppy games at home so far this season.
Yeah. Okay, so 24-17.
24-17. I don't think it's going to be a bunch of fireworks. I think we're going to take control. I think we do get 6+ sacks again.
That would be awesome. That'd be an NFL record.
The only thing is just gadget plays. That's the only thing I think they can hurt us. And Kamara.
Some Hill effect.
Kamara can get those little dump outs and stuff. I think 10 of the majority of their points are going to come from Kamara.
Okay.
On a gadgety screen type of play thing, because he is good at that.
Okay. Well, I'm with you. I think we're gonna win. My score prediction's 32-20 Eagles. I think based on last week, I don't see why our offense wouldn't put up numbers again. And if we just don't turn the ball over, if we turn the ball over more than 1 or 2 times this game, I'm going to worry a little bit. But assuming we don't, which I don't think we will, I think we're gonna break 30 again. So there you go, 32-20. Book it.
Look, just thinking back, you probably have a better prediction than I do. But I'm going to stick with it. Sometimes
you never know what happens.
Also, you know what? I don't know if we're wanting to show our playbook off that much right now. I think we're going to keep it pretty vanilla.
Okay.
So let's get into the Who You Got. Who You Got segment presented by AML Media. I'll start off because I got one that people are going to go, what are you doing?
I like this, though. You're going big.
Yeah, I'm going big, trying to go different. I'm going to have Kenneth Gainwell, who he probably isn't even on more than 5% of fantasy football teams.
Not even, yeah.
You know what I mean? Here's why I think so. I think Miles, it's not like he's not going to get, but I think they might tame down his snaps a little bit because if we don't need to beat up a running back, why would we?
You're predicting 2 touchdowns.
My bold prediction is 2 touchdowns by him.
Okay. Both running?
Both running. I like the way he runs in between the tackles when he puts his nose down.
Yeah, we didn't see that coming out of Memphis.
The dude likes to put his nose down, it looks like. And then also I think, in preseasons and practice and stuff, the ones run with the starters go with the starters. So I think maybe Gainwell and Garner might have a little bit of chemistry there just from Gainwell definitely practices with Garner more than Miles practices with Garner.
Yes. When
Jalen's healthy. So I think some chemistry. I think let's preserve our starting running back. And I think this is going to be a let's eat up clock type of game, and he's going to get 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right. Well, I got Dallas Goedert with 100 yards receiving. And because your prediction was so bold, I'm also going to add he's going to have a touchdown.
And I don't even see that bold. I mean, kid's back. The only thing why I think it's so bold is we just don't know if he's going to be on a snap count or something.
Yeah, and I mean, he only got 3 targets last week. He caught them all. But I don't know, how bold could I go? Like, he's not going to get 150. I think this is more like I got Dallas Goedert because I think he needs to be a bigger part of the offense. And before the injury, he was number
dominant.
2. He was the number 2 receiver behind A.J. Brown. So, 100 yards receiving and a touchdown.
I like it. I like Goddard a lot. It's a shame if he didn't. Well, we're not going to get into it. But if he didn't get hurt, I think he was going to do some big things this season and have his name put up with some of those big guys like the Travis Kelce's and the Kittles and stuff. He was on track to do those type of numbers. So, but it's cool because he's going to get a Super Bowl and he's going to be way more happy about that. So to roll into our next segment, this is a little bit of a newer one. We like to call it Wait, What?
Yeah, this is the Wait What segment.
Wait What segment. It's to get us around the league a little bit, not just so Philly centric. And
the league is so good, and there's so many storylines.
That is the nice thing. Like, could you imagine, like, even 30 years ago, you didn't get even close to the amount. Like, you only got local stuff in the team you were playing. There's millions of stories. Like,
and with social media too, which I'm kind of new to, but I'm seeing the benefits of that as well.
And I will give credit. A lot of these were given to me by Steven. I just added one myself, but I'll start and then I'll throw it over to you.
Okay.
So Tua, which I think most people saw 5 weeks ago, that absurd concussion where he was lights out, scary.
Where they said it was a neck injury, a back and neck injury. Do you recall?
Yes.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Anybody with eyes can see.
Yeah. When your neck hurts, you don't go.
Yeah.
His neck hurts so bad he's snoring about it.
Right.
But so he is back on concussion protocol after this past game, not because he was tackled hard or anything. It was he threw 3 interceptions, and then they were watching film, and the coaches just were watching that film went, dude, there's something wrong with you. Like, something clearly isn't right here, and then went to the doctors, and he's back in concussion protocol because I guess they did the baseline testing again. They were like, your shit's all fucked up.
Yeah, you're all retarded now.
Yeah, which is a shame. It's bad for all sorts of reasons. One, to be honest, like, as much as when I lose to a team, I'm like, I hope his ankle breaks, which I said about Dak, but the poor kid, you don't want to see a life ruined.
Nah, you can fix an ankle. You can't fix a dome.
Yeah, and then it's bad for the league of how much time and prevention and all these things. It's hard to say that this is coaching staff. They're not doctors.
It's
right?
not their job.
But the NFL has people that are supposed to watch for shit and go put him in concussion protocol.
Yeah.
And it has happened because you have to protect players against themselves.
Especially when their brains are scrambled and they can't really think, they're not on their P's and Q's.
Yeah, so then it's just...
And these guys don't want to come off the field.
No. And also, if you're an owner, coach, you're like, I need to protect that asset because, okay, short term sucks we're losing him, but this is something that, who knows, they could say, dude, we don't ever want you to play football again.
Well, that's what the talk is now. Like, is this guy done forever? Because here's the thing. Tua is going to want to get out of the concussion protocol and go back in. That's how football players are wired. That's how I'm wired. When I play football, like, you're a bitch if you're like...
That's the culture that is surrounding it.
Definitely.
Also,
you don't milk an injury. If you could play, you play.
Yeah, the big thing is there's a difference between being hurt and injured. You know?
And he hasn't gotten his big payday.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know this, but like he might be like, dude, I'm 2 touchdowns away from a big paycheck. You know, those incentives that are...
No, he's still on his rookie deal.
Okay, so rookie contract would never have any of that type of...
Incentives, I don't believe so. It's just...
Okay.
He was a first-round pick, though, so he's got a nice, like... He makes plenty of money.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, all the sacrifice, everything you do leading up to getting to the NFL, he's going to do everything he can to get back on that field. And there's no, like, there's no rule that says, like, if the doctors think it's a risk, you can't play anymore. Like, if he passes the protocol,
Yeah.
there's nothing they could throw at him to make him not play. So it could be an ugly situation. It's already ugly. I will say, in the defense of the doctors who were the independent guys who were supposed to watch, this one, he was tackled and his head hit the turf, but it wasn't like you said, like a big hit or anything. He was just tackled, and his head kind of bounced off the ground. Like it wasn't. Nobody saw that happen and said, "Oh, concussion." But going back to it, there were players that like his offensive lineman that ran up to him immediately and were just kind of like, "Are you okay?" Like, there's more to this story.
Yeah. And also, and none of those offensive linemen, they're not going to tattle and be like, I don't think something's right with him. You know,
Unless he's fucked up.
There probably were guys that were like, I should maybe say something, but also like, who am I to try and take the paycheck out of this guy's?
There's so many layers to it. You're right. And here's the thing, I just want to the coach McDaniel. I give him credit for, first and foremost, he has to do all the PR and shit on this. Like, Tua doesn't have to say, he's got to be the face of it.
Yep.
So that sucks. But he apparently was watching that film and said something wasn't right here. And apparently,
Good.
it's not like Tua, it was said to him, nah, you're totally wrong. There was nothing wrong. If he's back in concussion protocol, that means there's some symptoms there and something's up. But I'm don't give a shit about the Dolphins, but I don't want the kid to never play a game again. But I don't want to see this. Like, this is a bad look for the NFL.
Yeah.
And I get so mad, and we both do, when you start hearing about, like, parents aren't letting their kids play football, yada, yada, yada. I agree you shouldn't let toddlers and, like, 7-year-olds play tackle football, maybe. But I don't like anything that takes away from the stature of the NFL.
I don't want to give more fuel to that fire of this is a dangerous game. Yeah, no shit, it's dangerous. That's why the best protective gear we can design, they use.
And every player knows that.
Yeah.
Stop trying to take their dreams away and our favorite sport away. But here's the thing. That's never going to happen because football's king. But it's just annoying, these fucking... I'm a pretty liberal guy. When I hear these people talk about how dangerous football is, and I won't even let my kids play soccer. It's like, you're a fucking douche.
That was my knock on I really damn, blanking on his name, guy who owns the Wizards. And he's on Shark Tank. What the hell is his name?
No, he owns the Mavericks.
The Mavericks.
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban. That was one thing. I'm a big fan of him because he's done some cool stuff and he's kind of a bro. But he said, and it's because he owns an NBA team.
Yeah.
He was like, well, I think more kids are going to basketball is going to become the predominant sport because we don't want our kids getting hurt. And I was like, you don't believe that for a second.
You just wish you owned an NFL franchise.
Basically, yeah.
But so that's a deal on Tua.
Well, and we'll keep giving updates on that because this is
a
going to
really
unfold.
interesting story.
It's going to be more than this. Isn't going to be just about Tua. This is going to be, does the NFL do another step?
And there's definitely a morbid curiosity when this thing. And I'll admit it, I'm human, so there is part of you. It's like that car accident everybody wants to slow down and look at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't look away.
When he was on his back with his hands, there's a medical term for fencing.
Is that what they? I've heard it called the Jesus pose, which is weird that because it happens in UFC. It is weird, like for some reason the way when your muscles tense up, you kind of your legs cross
just
a little
misfiring. Your brain is misfiring, and your nervous system just spasms. But what else you got for the wait what?
So this is one, I don't know why I don't like him, but I'm kind of, Derek Carr being benched permanently for this season. Haven't followed them because why would I care about the Raiders that much? Just never been a fan of Derek Carr. Nothing off the field. I don't think he's good. So I don't know.
Well, he's benched now, so I guess you were right. He's not that
Yeah.
good.
Him and his brother, just all this hype and then just.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not much there, but it's crazy.
It's a big deal.
This time of it's a big deal, but there's a lot of garbage fire teams right now.
And they shouldn't be a garbage fire because they have a good offensive line. They got Devontae Adams. They got the kid Jacobs, who's the best back in the league this season, especially on offense. Listen, it's either Derek Carr sucks or the coach from the Patriots, what's his name, Mike McDaniel?
No, McDaniel's at Miami.
Anywho, this is a second chance at being a head coach, and it's not looking good.
And those fans, dude, they're
damn Las Vegas bullshit.
I was just about to say, like, the Oakland people who live in Oakland still like that's their team.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? So fuck Los Angeles, Las Vegas, that being your team. But for the bros in Oakland, the brothers in Oakland that are still rocking old ass jerseys, they're like, damn, dude, this is our team.
Here we go again.
Yeah, here we go again.
So we'll see. We'll see how the Jarrett Stidham era of the Raiders looks.
You got something?
I got a few things.
Oh, real quick, I started to cut you off. Might have said this, but Josh McDaniels and Dan Soder were childhood best friends.
How come you couldn't give me the name Josh McDaniel fucking 2 seconds ago?
Josh McDaniels is at Miami.
No, that's Mike McDaniel.
No, it's Josh McDaniels at Miami.
No, it's not.
Rachel, can you look up the coach for Miami Dolphins? It's funny because growing up, he was the cool guy, but now in the NFL, he's kind of dorky because he wears glasses.
Mike McDaniel.
Thank you. Come again.
Look, search Josh McDaniels. I might just have the name wrong.
You did. Josh McDaniel is the old New England coordinator who's now coaching the Raiders.
Because then he was at 49ers for a quick second. Anyhow, that's not the...
Josh McDaniels is an American football head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm so glad we have that on camera.
Okay, so Mike McDaniels
Yeah.
is Dan Soder's best friend, not Josh. I don't know where I didn't even know Josh McDaniels was a guy.
Yeah, he was the Tom Brady whisperer for all those years.
Okay.
But
I was wrong. I admit
it's
it.
all good.
I admit when I'm wrong.
Shit
I'm a man.
happens. It's what's on camera, so you have to.
Nope. I can break that laptop and no one will ever know.
One of the things I really love from this week is I've said on this podcast, I just love the whole Russell Wilson Denver Broncos shitstorm because I never liked the person that Russell Wilson is, and I don't feel bad saying that. He's just weird. And so...
Yeah, I didn't even like him back. When everyone was riding the dicks of him and... Pete Carroll. They were like they're
the
so
Legion of Boom
cool. And 12th man, we have the loudest stadium. Like, that shit's corny, dude.
Russell Wilson is just corny.
Yeah.
He is the essence of corny. And I'm sure he's a hard worker and all this shit, but I love how fucking bad they are. And unlike the Raiders, they can't bench Russell Wilson, so they fired Nathaniel Hackett, which I really don't think they wanted to do. But after that game on Christmas Day, well, it was the nighttime, where they lost, 51-13 or something? And we watched that whole game, and it was just like, dude, Baker Mayfield ain't that dude. And they were just, that team gave up. They've given up 15 points a game on average. 51 to the LA Rams, who suck.
Dude, some of those plays, I was like, this guy, he wants to be out of this game. Like, it looked like he snapped the ball on him. He was like, out of bounds.
It was so ugly. I mean,
they couldn't do anything right. Anytime it'd be like 3rd and 2, and they'd get like a tackle for loss for like 5 yards, dude. It was so bad.
It's hard to watch if you're not enjoying the hellstorm that it is.
Yeah.
But, like, he doesn't look like he belongs out there. And I don't feel like I'm exaggerating. Like, it's just so bad.
And that's like one of the biggest, besides like Thanksgiving days, that might be some of the biggest primetime football for the NFL.
It was the worst slot.
And you can see, okay, Rams, they were contenders last 2 years, won a Super Bowl, and beginning of the season, they're like, I don't know when it happened, but yeah, Russell Wilson was already on the team, so they go, that's going to be a good matchup. Until 4 weeks roll, and they're like, oh, this isn't looking good. That's a non-flex. We can't flex that game, I don't think.
Right. And then by week 10, they're like, shit.
And Stafford gets injured, and they're like, the only storyline is like, Baker Mayfield, I guess, is still a thing. He's in a lot of commercials. Let's do a lot of State Farm commercials this week.
It is a fun story, though, the Baker Mayfield resurgence with the LA Rams. It's really weird that he couldn't even beat out Sam Darnold for the Panthers, and now he's killing it. But
also, I hate Sean McVay. I want to say that.
He's a love-hate guy.
I could see if you're a fan of that team, you're like, fuck yeah, this dude's young. He's got all this cool... Nah, dude, that's another fucking guy I hate. Too young for that success. I believe you got to be a grumpy old man to be a good coach in the NFL.
He's just so LA Rams. You know what I mean? But
LA should not have good sports teams. When you see
when the fucking LA Kings were winning Stanley Cups, dude?
When we just gave them 3 of our fucking when we just gave them Richards and shit.
Yeah.
Anywho, but yeah, I just hate that you see that game and like everyone, even the dudes are chicks there, so they're all on their phones. They don't even sell out sometimes until it comes when they were that Super Bowl last year. That must have been bad for the NFL because like. These are $7,000 tickets, and there's just some hot chick in the back. Like, was it fucking over yet? What the hell?
No, I don't.
When is the halftime show? Who's the halftime show?
I don't disagree with everything you're saying, except for I'm sure the NFL loved that LA had a Super Bowl, the whole deal. But let's move past. To reiterate, this is this is like a soap opera for men. I love how bad
it's soap opera when we're doing good. If we were doing bad.
You mean the Eagles?
Yeah. So thank God the Eagles, because if the Eagles were doing bad, you would be. I hope everyone just breaks their ankles and no one can compete. And
that's how I feel when we're good too. But yeah, Russell Wilson, dude, they have to play him again next year.
Oh, and they gave away everything.
Their whole draft for 2 seasons is and Pete Carroll up in fucking Seattle must be just like, told you. I'm telling you guys for years, Russ can't cook. So, real quick, the Vikings are fucking annoying because they keep winning. I mean, they had to win on a 61-yard field goal against the Giants, who we smoked. But they're the number 2 seed. They still have a chance to take the 1 seed from us. Stop winning,
dude. This is just another, bro. And we talked about this on the one thing, the one video. This is like 2018 all over again, bro. We have a good chance to rest our players last week, get a bye week, and then see the Vikings late in the season, and us just beat their ass again.
Yes.
And then fucking just have kids from Delco screaming at old white Minnesota ladies' faces, being like, "Go Birds!"
They're not gonna fuck with the Rocky statue again.
Go ahead, please do.
Yeah, they won't even show up this time. because we smoked them then,
and
we
they had the
smoked them this
chance.
season.
They were gonna be able to be one of the few teams to ever play a Super Bowl at their home thing, which happened a year later.
Yeah.
NFL's fake. We all know it.
Yeah, right. The last thing, I have a real quick thing. Nick Foles looked like shit. Okay, but we all saw that coming. And then
I just like to see him get a couple more bucks in his pocket. He's got some kids now.
he has enough bucks. He's got a statue. Fucking, whatever. He don't play for the Eagles no more. But the Zach Wilson experiment in Jetsville is over. That was
Short-lived.
Yeah. They really fumbled that whole situation.
It's hard to be a Jets fan, man.
It is, but they benched him. Was he playing bad? Yes, but they were 5-2 when they benched him. And then Mike White plays decent, and he gets hurt. And now instead of going to Flacco, you go back to Wilson on a rainy, cold night, which isn't a great. But the kid looked terrible, and he didn't even finish the game because it was so bad that they put his backup in. There's no way he's playing again for the Jets, and if he's smart, he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And the Jets.
That's one of those things. Sometimes you just need to change the scenery. If you have a chance in the NFL, guys, please trade me. I don't care.
He's the second pick overall in the draft.
There's
no way he's trashed that bad. There's got to be something. But it's weird. The players don't like him. They got rookies in their locker room bitching about the quarterback, and they're new to the league. Like, you've been in a locker room. If you're like a new face and you got dudes that have been in the league for like 8+ years, or like, you're not gonna bitch about the quarterback
Yeah.
when it's both your first. It's like, it's crazy. So he must be a mega douchebag. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe in the quarterback room.
You know what? We're gonna find out, or maybe he's like Carson Wentz. Is he just super religious or something? Because that a lot of times can be the thing that
he
rubs.
played his ball at Brigham Young.
So yeah, I mean I can see that definitely being like, beating a dead horse with that.
A quick stat. His quarterback rating in that game was 3.6.
NFL lowest.
It
That
has
has to be a
dude.
record.
I need to know it goes
I
that
think
low.
I could get a 3.6.
You could. I promise you could.
Like, just handing the ball off. Like, all right, like, just
Now,
teach
you
me.
have to throw it to get a passer rating. But 3.6 is basically like unheard of.
Quick one I had. So I want to end with one, but Kyler Murray, dude, another fucking mess. You really got to evaluate these quarterbacks' mentality, man. That seems to be some of the biggest thing. But during their game, somehow, I guess people just know his gamer tag, and with the way shit works, achievements get unlocked. During the game, he unlocked a gold skin during his team playing, because it was an away game, he unlocked a gold skin for a gun. Now, this guy's got a mansion, so he probably has 17 TVs going on, but
No.
he's playing games,
You
dude.
have to be smarter than that. That's clearly a guy who just doesn't give a fuck.
I think he wants out. I don't know if he has the ability. I don't know where his contract lies, but
He got his deal, man. And listen.
yeah, that's right. He did.
He got his, like, bro, if you knew that you were set for $45 million, even if you never played football again.
How about make another gamer tag?
Well, no, yeah. That's why I'm saying he just doesn't give a fuck.
And once again, I have to preface this a lot of times. Social media is where I got this. This wasn't on the on NBC News or something.
It's fun for us to talk about.
But he obviously has something with video games.
Well, he wouldn't be the only person with a video game addiction out there, but you're the quarterback of one of 32 franchises.
He's the richest video game addict out there. I could probably bet on that.
Yeah. So, yeah, Colin Rose a turd.
Dingleberry, dude.
Yeah. And then, just real quick, the Mac Jones dirty hit. You saw it. I didn't actually watch. It's like the only play I haven't watched from last week. But I heard all about it.
Which is funny. I saw it, didn't know what it was, and then you said it, and I was like, is that what that was? Okay.
Yeah. And this isn't his first incident where he just gets pissed off when it goes bad for him and does some dirty shit. So,
Listen,
he's got a rep now. He's like Ndamukong Suh now.
he's got the rep, but can you blame him? Because think of every time because you see it at every level. When a quarterback throws a pick, you know there's a defensive lineman. He's going to go block the quarterback hard as shit.
We've seen it.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
you know, he has that, you know, they're gunning after him. So, you know what? Fuck it,
I'll
Mac
just
Jones.
say this. As a quarterback, you're already a target. Now you've got a rep as a dirty player. Dude, don't think football players on the defensive side are going to be like, yo, give this kid a little extra. Because he can end someone's career doing some shit like that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. So if you watch enough stuff, you realize there's so many little webs of this player played at Los Angeles for 6 years. So he's got all these boys there, gets traded. So there's a web, and they talk to each other constantly. For some reason, and I'm not going to generalize why, football players really like to FaceTime.
Yeah, right.
Leave it at that. But they talk to each other all the time, so you know, like, if that's your boy, and you're knowing, like, you just risked his possible career by trying to, like, he wasn't even close to the play. That's the thing. If he's trying to tackle the guy, but he literally is just trying to take off, like, someone just flowing with the play.
Yeah, he's just taking out his aggression on someone else.
So so that was like a defensive lineman. He tried doing that too. You best believe he's got a lot of defensive linemen in the league that are boys. That
Doesn't
they're
even have to be boys. People, they just players. When you get to that level, there's so much at stake.
Yeah, that's
just not cool.
I just mean, yeah.
So
So that's
they're-
already there, but you never know. He might be playing against the cousin of the guy next week. The guy you just tried to hurt.
Yeah, yeah. So he's got a bullseye on him now. It's official. He's a dirty player according to most people out there.
It's
who
funny
watch
too
NFL.
because it's like, wait, that guy who looks like he could work at Staples is
Yeah.
a dirty player.
He must. It's hard to become a dirty player as a quarterback
Yeah, yeah.
unless you're throwing picks all the time. So stop throwing picks, man. So let's just touch the other sports real quick. Phillies are going to be awesome. They just signed another reliever for a year, the Kimbrel guy, who we're very familiar with around here. And the Carlos Correa deal is up in the air now. The Mets deal. The third baseman that I lamented last week of how annoyed I was that the Mets got another good player.
Tell them why, because this is interesting. We're trying to save baseball. All right.
Yes.
Tell them why, because that's new to me and makes a lot of sense of kind of what happened and why it's impactful.
So Carlos Correa was originally going to be a San Francisco Giant, but the deal fell through because of failed physical. There were questions about his physical exam, whatever. The doctors saw something. So when that deal officially fell through, like 2 days later, it's announced Mets have signed Carlos Correa for this massive number. They're going to have the biggest payroll in the sport.
Plastered all over social media,
Like, real quick.
everywhere.
And it's been a thing in baseball where the commissioner has been warning these teams in, like, the owners' meetings, stop announcing these deals. Whatever you have to do with their agents, you can't be announcing these deals until it's done. And it's going to happen for a billion different reasons. So anyway, the Mets announced this big deal, brought him in for a physical, which was real weird and kept quiet and hidden. He had like a private chart just for him so that there was nobody, in contact. Anyway, there's questions about the physical now. So I don't think baseball can force the Mets to keep him. I don't know what the legality is or what the rules are, but it's a bad look.
It's
It
crazy.
just makes you look desperate to me.
Yeah, and just all like
The Giants already told you there's something up with this dude. And you were willing to give him that number without giving him a physical?
And I think the part I find interesting is there is a lot of repercussions, even outside of the team. I mean, dude, if that happened to us as a Phillies fan,
Oh, my God.
we'd be out for blood. We wouldn't even know who to be mad at. We'd be mad at the team. We'd be
mad
like,
at the
agents
team.
fucked up. They're lying about physicals. I'd be all conspiracy. Have my tinfoil hat on.
Definitely.
But then also
I
like
didn't even think about that.
like a
either.
market, a
Now-
mega millionaire's about to come here, and a lot of times these guys live in the same air. Like the type of the air.
Yeah.
The Mets, probably most of their team lives in a couple mile radius of each other because they're mega millionaires and they want to be close enough but not in the city.
Right.
So then a whole shit, you might own a pizza shop in this area and go, dude, this is great. Keep it, and then it falls through. It just,
fuck, we had set aside $285 million over 10 years for you. Now we're not signing you because you're all fucked up. Well, we lost out on these 2 free agents because they signed somewhere else.
Yeah.
Where we thought we had a third baseman.
Damn, I didn't.
So
even,
bad on the Mets. It's on them.
Good. I hope Frank the Tank has.
And we don't need
has a
Carlos
stroke.
Correa in the NL East, right? We don't.
Yeah, well, great for us. We're happy about it.
Yeah.
And also to be warned about it and do it.
That's what
not
I'm
cool.
saying. Like, there was obviously something up. Sixers won 8 games in a row. Finally lost one the other night. James Harden basically has come out and said, like, he's not interested in signing a long-term deal after this season, which I don't care about.
Yeah.
Apparently he's open to going back to the Rockets. I don't know what's up with this dude. He wears weird outfits. He's a good basketball player, though.
Get us a championship, man. You can do whatever the hell you
Just
want.
get us close. That
Well,
was
we've
so
been
fun
close.
when we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
That was great.
Yeah.
In the Airbnb, just having a blast with Mom. That was awesome. So, yeah, Sixers, keep up winning. We're turning it around a little bit.
Buck the Flyers.
Yeah, even more. God, I don't even know. Sell the team. Don't sell the team. I
Nah,
don't give a
Snyder ain't going nowhere. But we have to get ready to gear up for the MLS season. We made it to the Cup last season. We're gonna take it this year.
Did we mention? I think we did that. Blake, our longtime goalie of the our goalie, was Jamaica's, and they did terrible in the FIFA World Cup.
The captain.
But he was the captain, and I saw he had a couple highlight saves in there. So Blake's cool. It's fun to have him on the
Yeah,
team.
check out Captains on Netflix. It's a couple episodes, 6 episodes, I think, on different.
And also, a lot of the boys, a lot of you like soccer. You don't have one around here, dude. Be a Philly Union fan. They're sweet. The fans are called the Sons of Ben because of Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, it's badass. I want a scarf.
Yeah. So, guys, I know like you're all Premier League or nothing, but dude, root for your Philadelphia Union, man. We helped start this country, and we have a soccer team, so root for them.
I'm down. I'm on board with that.
But yeah, so that
And Pele died today.
yes, yeah.
Which I didn't know who Pele was till about 5-10 years ago. But
Didn't know he was that old. But
we're branching out here. It's a big deal for the world of international soccer. Football,
Yeah.
So.
Stay tuned. We still might have we're going to have a big announcement as far as sports podcast go. Besides that, guys, thanks for staying along for the ride. Happy New Year. And love you guys. Love you for listening. Comment, let us know what we're doing good, what we're doing bad. And
Come on back.
Come on back. Rachel, why don't you send us out with the plugs?
Okay, we are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All of our social media handles are on the screen, so take a screenshot if you're watching the video, or you can go to our website to find all of our links there. The website is aml.news.blog.
Go to the website. It's the easiest for you. Thanks again, guys. I'm Gene Labordi, my brother Stephen Labordi, and the amazing Rachel Labordi doing all of the awesome edits and the things you're seeing.
It's a family affair.
It's a family affair.